Hey Flosstube, it's Holly Jones from Mrs. Jones Stitches. Welcome to Flosstube number 16. Today is Wednesday, March 1st, 2023, and I'm so happy you're joining me today. If you're new to my channel, this is a channel about cross stitch where we talk about cross stitch charts, patterns, finishing, all things cross stitch happens right here. So, welcome. It's been about 4 weeks since I filmed a video last. And I apologize for the delay. I just wanted to make sure that I had plenty of stuff to share, and I have been a stitching machine in the last several weeks. If you follow me on Instagram, I shared a poll at the beginning of January, and I asked what you would like to see more of on my Flosstube and my Instagram. And I had a lot of responses that were anything from color conversions and curated color palettes, which I love to do. More people wanted to see fully finished objects and FFOs. So I did kind of take a break from filming videos for a couple weeks just so I had a lot to show and share. I do acknowledge and I know that your time is valuable, and I want to make sure that I am a good steward of your time when you choose to watch my videos. So with that being said, I do have a lot to show today, and we'll go ahead and get started. One thing that I have been working on, I have a group text with a bunch of little stitchy friends. Hannah the Stitch Fairy, Alicia the Fanciful Flamingo, Jessica the Sweetwater Stitcher, Jody is on Instagram at, Jody has a Flosstube, Simply Stitching Ocala, and Felicia is on Instagram as FA Quilts. And it is such a great group text. We lift each other up, we share funny stories, we talk about stitching a lot. And on Monday, I, sent a message to the group and I said, what do you think if we do a smalls exchange? We could set a theme, whether it's, a holiday or a season or a designer. And we all said, yes, we want to do it, and decided that our theme for the swap was going to be Primrose Cottage. So, any small, but that it was Primrose Cottage. So I have picked my chart. I have drawn my stitchy friend that I'm stitching for, and I have started my piece, and I'm so excited to share it with you. We will be doing the exchange on March 17th. So our packages have to be in the mail to each other by March 17th. So I have a little bit more to do, and I'll take pictures, and I'll be able to share it once I know that she has received it. So I'm really excited about that. Let me show you my whip. I'm working on Carrot Farm by Primrose Cottage. And here is my progress. It is this aqua truck, and then at the top it has a row of carrots, and it says Carrot Farm, and there's a bunny and a wheelbarrow full of carrots. So this is, as far as I've gotten right now, this is 28 count light ash gray, and I'm using all color and cotton flosses. I decided one thing I'm going to do, instead of showing every single floss in my Flosstube, that I'm going to refer you to my Instagram. It is at Mrs. Jones Stitches, and I have all the information there about the pattern that I'm using, who the designer is, the fabric, and the floss. That way we can kind of get through the videos a little bit quicker, and I have more content to actually show you. So if you have a question, go over there first and see if I've answered it. I also just really quickly, and I meant to talk about this at the beginning of my video, we're filming in a different location today. So I used to film in my dining room with my decorated hutch behind me. During COVID, when we were all working from home, this is my office. And since I'm not working from home anymore, my husband let me keep it and turn it into a craft room. So he built me these great shelves, which you saw pictures of in the introduction video. And behind me I have this cute hutch, and I have DMC and fabric and stuff over here. In here I have my tiered tray, and I've got pillow finishes. This is from my friend Barb, and just a bunch of different kind of finishes down here, and gifts from Stitchy Friends. This is from Hannah Hannah the Stitch Fairy. And I just have rotary cutters and corner gauges and all sorts of things kind of over here. So I do have my iPad right here on the desk. It is a little difficult because I feel like I'm sitting in my office chair, but I feel like I'm kind of angled a little funny. So, and I'm used to having my lens for my iPad in one spot, and every time I look at the camera, it makes it look like I'm either going cross-eyed or I'm looking off. So, we're going to try it right here for this video, and if it works, then we'll keep it, and if not, then we can go back to the dining room. So, okay, let me show you a couple, or let me talk quickly about a couple sals that I'm participating in. Denise, Niecy Stitches, is hosting the Hive Rules Sal. Now, I met her at the Primrose Cottage Annabella's retreat in January, and her table 7, decided that they were going to stitch Primrose Cottage Hive Rules beginning March 1st, which is today. So I have been dying to start this. I've never been a bee person. I've never been a bee stitcher, but now I want to stitch all of the bees. So I started Hive Rules this morning. I'm doing mine a little different. I'm not stitching it in one big piece. I am breaking them up into smaller pieces, and I'm going to stitch them and finish them as little pillows to go in a bee-themed dough bowl. So if you would like to participate, she has a Facebook group. It is Hive Rules, and you can use the hashtag PCS Hive Rules to participate. And I'm all about double dipping into sals. So by stitching Hive Rules and the bees, you can participate in that sal. You can also participate in All the Bees sal, which is hosted by Alicia, the Fanciful Flamingo, and Kathy Walker, by just using the hashtag All the Bees sal. So I love that because you can use one piece and participate in multiple sals, which I think is great because I love participating in sals. But if it's not something that I really am already stitching, it's kind of difficult to participate sometimes. So this will be great. Another one that I'm really looking forward to, and I actually started this last year as one of my market releases in like March, was the Rabbit in the Rose by With Thy Needle and Thread. And I got halfway through it, and then my This Is the Day pattern came, and so the Rabbit in the Rose got put away while I worked on This Is the Day. So I have it half finished. This one's being hosted by Jessica the Sweetwater Stitcher and Nicole Spohr, and you can participate in that. I want to say it's Rabbit and Rose Sal. It might not be, but I'll put it down below, and you can also watch Nicole's video and Jessica's video to get all of the details. But I'm really looking forward to that. And you know what, let me just look at it right here, because I don't want to tell you I'm going to put it down there and then I forget. So let's just look real quick. It is hashtag Rabbit and Rose Sal. So I was correct. Okay, good. Starts March 1st. Woo! There we go. Rabbit and Rose Sal. And it's hosted by Jessica the Sweetwater Stitcher and Nicole Spohr. And while you're stitching bunnies, you can also participate in the Best Bunny Sal. Hashtag Best Bunny Sal, which is hosted by Katie, the Novel Stitcher. So I love stitch-alongs like that, where you can stitch one thing and participate in a couple different sals. So, and it's fun to search the hashtag and get lots of inspiration, whether it's color conversions, fabric, seeing different fabrics people are stitching on, or even different finishes, stuff like that. So I always like to use the hashtag and search just to kind of see what other people have done. And if you see something great and get inspired by it, that's awesome. And if you want to go rogue and do your own thing and blaze your own trail, then that's great too. Okay, so I showed you my whip. We've talked about the sals. Let's talk about my finishes. I'm hosting a stitch along right now, and there's no start date or end date. You can literally participate in this anytime you want. And it is called hashtag Let's Build a House Sal. I love stitching houses. Houses might be one of my favorite things to stitch. So whether you're stitching This Is the Day, or you're stitching, one of the new market releases that has a house in it, you can participate as long as your chart has a house in it. It doesn't matter if it's like the main focus piece or if it's just a tiny little house. It doesn't matter. If there's a house, you can participate. So I stitched this. This is In Full Glory by Blackbird Designs. It is out of the Sweet Land of Liberty book. And this was my first piece that I used for the In Full Glory, not In Full Glory, gosh, sorry, my brain is not here today, for the Let's Build a House Sal. I did stitch this on 32 count Love Notes by Color and Cotton. This was my monthly fabric that came for February, and I just love it. It is a creamy white, but it kind of has just a hint of maybe like a pink, a light pink model to it. Really, really nice. I mentioned this in my previous videos. I've been on the waiting list to get into the Color and Cotton Fabric Club for like 3 years. So I am loving finally being in the Color and Cotton Fabric Club. I did stitch this with Color and Cotton flosses. And what I'm going to do is I'm not going to tell you in my video the fabrics and the threads I used, because honestly, I've put all that stuff away. So what, if you'd like to know the colors and stuff I used, you can go to my Instagram. It's at Mrs. Jones Stitches, and you can scroll down and find this picture and you can see all the colors I used. What I will also do is I will copy that information and post it in the box down here at the bottom in my description box, and that way you can reference it here too. But since I don't have these all in front of me, I don't want to tell you what color I used and then have it be wrong. I do know my house is called Winterberry, and that is by Color and Cotton. As far as anything else, I don't remember off the top of my head, so I will put it in the description box below, or like I said, you can go to my Instagram and find it all there. All right, my next finish is, let me put this back over here. It's a previous finish I'll show you. Hannah, the Stitch Fairy, and I decided to host a sal, and it is the ABC sampler from Primrose Cottage, and the B is B-E-E, like the bumblebee, so ABC sal, and we called it ABC Stitch With Me, and here is mine fully finished. And I stitched this on a 28 count white. I did use all the called for DMC. Whoops, there we go. Sorry. Like I said, my iPad's a little funky today. I did use all the called for DMC. I really did look through all my fancy floss to see if I could do any color substitutions and switch, but honestly, the colors that were called for were perfect. So I did not switch out any colors. This frame is really cool. It kind of looks like a tray. It's very tray looking. It's got really cool edges, and I got this from Basket Market. And in some of my other videos, you've heard me talk about Basket Market. It is a clearance center for Hobby Lobby, and I have this little honey dipper. This is actually a gift from Jessica, the Sweetwater Stitcher, about a year ago. She had sent it to me in a little pack with some other goodies, and I just kind of held on to it. I didn't know what I was going to do with it, but yeah, so it is adorable. It is perfect for this, and I'm so happy with how this turned out. There's no end date on this sal, by the way, so if you would like to still participate, you still can. Just use the hashtag ABC Stitch With Me Sal. I'm sorry, no Salmon, ABC Stitch With Me, and we would love to see your progress. Okay, another thing that I finished. This is by Primrose. It is part of the Stitch Along with Mom, and this is All Things Grow with Love. And I love this. This is my first Stitch Along with Mom that I've participated in, and I chose all my colors. I did stay kind of true to the called for colors. I did personalize it right over here, 2016. That's the year I got married. And then down here we have an L and an H, which are me and my husband's initials. And if you have not seen Hannah's, I need to talk about this for a second. Hannah switched out her colors to match her bedroom, and she stitched hers in blues, and it is gorgeous. So, so pretty. She's on Instagram as Hannah the Stitch Fairy, so go check her out and look at the gorgeous color conversion that she did. It is lovely. So I need to finish this. This sal is still going on right now, and you can participate by using the hashtag SAL, S-A-L, with Mom. And by doing that, you can be entered to win a prize pack from Primrose Cottage. So really exciting. I need to fully finish that. Unfortunately, I don't have an idea of how I'm going to finish it. I know it's going to be in a frame, but I don't have anything picked out yet. So, also today I'm channeling my inner Kathy Haberman from Hands On Design. Whenever she films a Flosstube, usually she has a cocktail. And I thought, well, if Kathy can have a cocktail, so can I. So I made a Moscow Mule in this cute stemless wine glass or copper wine glass. Love it. It's my favorite cup. And I love Moscow Mules. Okay. 2 other things. This finish is Big Hearted Tiny Town from Heart and Hand. This was a stitch along that Jessica, the Sweetwater Stitcher, and I hosted together. And to participate, you can use the hashtag BigHeartedSal. I stitched mine on a 32 count light pink splash Lugana. I did use all color and cotton floss. This frame here is from Basket Market. And then one of the things I love that I learned how to do at the Primrose Cottage retreat was do bows. I love a good bow. I've never been able to really perfect a good bow. So I was really pumped that they taught us how to do pretty bows. So this is the bow that I made. And honestly, I couldn't find a Valentine ribbon or bow that I really liked. So what I did was I ended up layering and gluing down like 4 layers of ribbon here. So this is a very thick bow to make it my own and to make it how I liked. So this is a natural cotton ribbon. It is wired. It has these cute little white polka dots. Then I laid on top of it this pink kind of grosgrain ribbon with this white stitching here on the outside. I layered then a layer of white lace and then this red pom-pom rickrack that's gingham. And I glued all of it down and then I folded it up. In the center, I have a red felt flower. This came from Hobby Lobby. And this also has the, jute wire or cord up here for if you'd like to hang it. Or if you don't want to hang it, you can just put it have it lean against a shelf or something like that. But I love this. This is also a Riley Blake cotton fabric. So there it is. And then my last finish is Loads of Love by Primrose Cottage. I got this pattern at the Annabella's retreat, and it was right after this very first came out. So this was my first kind of Primrose truck that I'd ever stitched. I used Magenta by Color and Cotton. This is just a really pretty magenta fabric, and I stitched it on a 28 count white linen. And then I added this aqua pom-pom, and then I pulled the aqua from the piece with this ribbon and this kind of bright pink gingham. I also, this is my first covered button I've ever made. So it was way easier than what I expected. It's not perfect, but for it being my first one, I was pretty proud of it. So this is also a stitch along right now at Primrose Cottage, and you can use the hashtag Loads of Love Sal and be entered also to win a prize pack. So I love it. I want to stitch all the Primrose stuff now. Oh, I'm sorry. I did have one more. I actually just finished this literally right before I started filming. So I have never done any of the Heart and Hand collector's hearts. And I decided that I was going to do the collector's heart this year. And here it is. So I stitched mine on Aztec red, and I used Tusk by Color and Cotton as my white. And I framed it in this really chunky white frame that I got at Basket Market. And it's very simple. I really liked the detail of the frame. I thought it really pulled the white from the stitching. And it's just kind of elegant to me. I don't really feel like it needs a lot of dressing up. It doesn't need a bow or a rickrack or anything like that. It just, the stitching kind of speaks for itself. And then you have your pop of color with the red. This is my first time stitching on like a colored linen, I guess. I've stitched on pink splash Lugana and black Lugana and charcoal and stuff like that. But as far as stitching on something that's actually a color, this is my first time. And this Aztec red is so beautiful. It's really heavily pigmented. And it was a joy to stitch on. So I'm really looking forward to hanging this up, but I just love it. And it was funny because I did a floss toss and I couldn't decide my fabric and my floss, and I had a lot of really pretty neutrals. I had whites out, I had a couple, I had vintage country mocha out, and I had a lot of different pinks and reds, and I just happened to pull out that Aztec red and I laid a white down on top of it, and I was like, yep, that's it. So so those are all my FFOs, and I'll show you just a couple of previous finishes real quick. This is Hip Hop Chockful by Hands On Design. And again, when I first started stitching, I did not keep track of the count and the floss colors and stuff like that I used. Honestly, I used what I had. So unfortunately, I can't tell you exactly what I used. I do know this is 32 count charcoal because I have a lot of this. But I don't know what colors I used here for this. But I love this, and it's been in this frame. I actually don't have a whole lot of like spring and Easter kind of like themed cross stitches. So one thing I really like about, you know, if you stitch a house or something like that, if you just like this house, you can stitch this house and just change the color and put it with a really pretty like springy color palette, and then you have a spring piece. So another one I did, this is the Spring Salt Box Houses. This is by Plum Street Samplers, and this is on a 32 count natural linen. I do know I used color and cotton flosses on this. Much like a Hip Hop Chockful, I didn't keep track of the colors that I stitched with. So your guess is as good as mine on this one. But it's such a fun springy color palette. This frame is from Hobby Lobby, and I actually leave this out year round because it kind of it can go anywhere. And my last previous finish is by With Thy Needle and Thread, and this is Harrietta. And this is finished on a backing piece that I got from Basket Market. And one thing I did differently, I live in Oklahoma, and I've never seen a white bunny in real life. So I stitched mine as a brown bunny because we have lots of brown bunnies that are running around our land. So especially in spring. So I made my bunny brown, and I did use color and cotton on this piece. And again, like I said, I didn't write down my colors at the time because I didn't know that was a thing. But I stitched this maybe 2 years ago, and I just really love it. So those are my 3 pieces that I have that are kind of springy, and I have this sitting on my living room table kind of underneath my TV. All right, 2 things that we'll do. Let me show you some haul. Now, I placed a lot of market orders. I want to say that I probably pre-ordered, I say a lot. I mean, I thought it was a lot, maybe like 6 or 7 things. So I'm really looking forward to those getting here. I'm not going to tell you what I pre-ordered right yet because I'd like to be able to show it to you. And if I just say the pattern name, some of you may know what I'm talking about and others may not. And I'm not going to insert pictures of every single one here. So I'll save my market purchases for our next video. But let me show you what I got. And most of this stuff came off the D-Stash sites, which I think has been really fun because I think other people have had the same mentality that I have. I'm going to be purchasing market releases, so I should de-stash and sell some stuff. And that money I ended up taking and putting towards my market purchases. So anyway, I got Heart and Hand. This is the Love Sampler. And prior to this year, I didn't really have a whole lot of Valentine stitching, but I got, you know, obviously quite a few done with the Big Hearted Tiny Town and the Loads of Love Stitch Along and the Collector's Heart. So I have a lot of Valentine now. So I am really excited about that and really excited to stitch this for next year. You, I, and Friends. This is Primitive Hair. And I just love these patterns. I've actually never stitched any of these before, but I just think that they're so cute and they're so narrow and tall that it would be good for just one of those kind of funky little spots on the wall that you could put something, but it's not going to take up a whole lot of space. From the D-Stash site, I got, this is Holly and Hearts. It's a mystery sampler club from Lizzie Kate, and here is the piece. It's in 3 sections, so 1, 2, and 3. And you can do a couple different things with this. You can stitch it all as one piece like this, or you can break it up and maybe do 3 separate finishes for like a dough bowl or something like that. I'm not really sure how I'm gonna finish this yet. I was just really excited to get the charts and have them because, you know, Lizzie Kate's are out of print. And I know 123 Stitch bought the catalog and everything, but I haven't seen this on 123 Stitch. It may be there, it may not, but I really like it, and I have a lot of Lizzie Kate patterns. So I got that off the D-Stash site. All the bee stitching. This is Busy Bee. And one thing that I'm really looking forward to stitching on this is this little pin box right here. I don't know if you can really tell or not, but on this side right here, it kind of looks like honeycomb. And you can put your initials right here, and I think this would be super cute as like a little gift. And then Busy as a Bee, My Needle and Me would be so cute on my bee display this year. So really looking forward to stitching this. From Rabbit Valley Studio, I have Home. I've seen this for a while and I've wanted to stitch it, and I just had not had the opportunity. So I got this on the D-Stash site, and I cannot wait to stitch it this summer. And then Jessica, the Sweetwater Stitcher, recently celebrated her 1-year anniversary on Flosstube. So congratulations, Jessica. And she is going to start Mend by Hands On Design. This is one of the block party pieces, and it can be finished as this little pin cushion. So I definitely want to participate. So I ordered the pattern, and I cannot wait to get started on this. I do have a couple other things that I'm working on, so I don't know that I'm going to start it right away. But it is so cute. And last but not least, I did get a little bit of fabric. This is 30 Count Dove by Weeks Dye Works. And this is a really pretty gray. Depending on the light you're in, if you kind of turn it like that, it looks to me kind of like a gray aqua. But I really like this. I have a larger piece of that. And honestly, I didn't want to cut it for a project that I had in mind. So, and then I got another piece of Aztec Red. And then I got another piece of Bramble by Picture This Plus. So those are my haul and purchases. And we are going to do a giveaway this time. I have been making and selling on my Instagram these curated ribbon bundles. So I was telling you earlier about how much I love making bows now because I know how. And what I've been doing is selling these curated ribbon bundles. This is a patriotic one I put together. Lots of different red, white, and blues. There's some twill tape. There's a really pretty red with like kind of some white stitching. It's a grosgrain. I have some rickrack in here. This is 10 pieces of some of it's wired, some of it's not wired. This is really pretty. I like this one. It looks like denim. And then this one here is really pretty too. But there is all sorts of stuff in here. And you can use this to make your own ribbon bundles, your own bows. There's a yard of each of these ribbons and trims. So 10 different 1-yard pieces. I have been selling these, and I have this patriotic one. So I would like to do a giveaway with this one. And I've seen other floss tubers ask the same question, so I'm gonna hop on the bandwagon. And I want you to tell me, what is your favorite market release that you have seen? I'm curious to see what other people are excited to stitch. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have, ordered it or pre-ordered it or anything like that. So if you're holding out until, your finances can support it, or, until you can see it in person or pick it up at your LNS, that's totally fine. It doesn't have to be something that you've pre-ordered. But just what was your favorite pattern and chart that you saw that you would like to stitch? So you can leave that in a comment below. Make sure you're a subscriber, make sure you're over 18 and like the video. Please don't write anything about a contest or prize or giveaway or anything like that. Just leave me a comment. You can say whatever you want to say in there besides those words. And also let me know what you saw from market that you're really looking forward to seeing, maybe stitching, and what your favorite release was. So I will draw that winner on Wednesday, March 18th. I'll probably hop on and do a quick video and let you know here. And I'll also announce it on my Instagram. So make sure you follow me on Instagram at Mrs. Jones Stitches in case you miss out on the video. And we will see you next time. Happy stitching!